Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another discussion video. Today we're finishing up our talks on the blue cards in set 14, and we'll be talking about blue Trunks in today's video and why it's doomed competitively. Now, I want to preface this by saying if you're looking forward to playing Trunks casually or locally, that's awesome. More power to you. I think it's going to be a fun deck for you guys to play. We always just look at things a little bit more competitively here on the channel, so I will be approaching the cards and the strategy of Trunks from the competitive angle. Again, if you're looking forward to playing it casually, that's awesome. Really happy for you. We're going to be talking about it today in the competitive sense. So with that being said, if you guys are new here, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. And if you guys want to help support the channel, tons of ways down in the description. But if you're looking to make that jump from casual to competitive, check out the Patreon down in the description below. You can read the articles there, see where my head's at competitively. You can also inquire about some coaching if you are interested in that. With that being said, let's jump right in, talking about the leader first. We have Trunks Auto, and this card's placed in your leader area. Activate one foreboding music box from your deck. We'll read that in a sec. When this card attacks, draw one. Awaken your list 4 or less. Untap one, draw one. Not bad. Trunks, the hero successor. Love the artwork. Wish the leader was a little better. But when this card attacks, draw one. Auto, if it's your opponent's turn and one of your blue unison cards with a specified cost of 3 or more is removed from your unison area, you may add one Tapion sword from your drop to your hand. If you do, choose a card in your hand and discard it. So you're already like losing out there because your unison is getting removed. So I really wish there wasn't like a discard cost added to getting the Tapion sword back. That's not like a super huge thing. The main reason why this leader is not going to do so well is because Soul Striker is a thing, and we'll get more into that as we get into the more specific cards. But let's finish with the Activate main here. Activate main once per turn, Spirit Boost 1. This card gets plus 5,000 power for the turn, and if you have a blue unison card with a specified cost of 3 or more in play, this card gains double strike. So very, very similar to King Cold, at least how I read it, because it seems like the leader is your main win con, just buffing this thing up. There are a few other ways you can make the leader even stronger with Tapion Sword, which we'll see, and the Tapion Unison. But anyways, let's move on to our extra cards. For Boding Music Box, this one starts in play with your leader. Activate main once per turn. Add one card from your light to your hand. Then look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Add up to one blue unison with specified cost of 3 among them to your hand. Then shuffle your deck. If you added a card to your hand, choose a card in your hand and place it at the bottom of your deck. Again, you just don't get to like hard plus here. Like the Self-Awakening is nice because sometimes blue decks getting stalled out can hurt a lot. But like, I don't know. Why couldn't it just draw a card? The problem is there's going to be certain things for this strategy that Soul Striker can't do. But they don't really make Trunks more favorable than Soul Striker, those unique things, if you guys are kind of catching what I'm saying. Like Foreboding Music Box, specific to Trunks, but it doesn't make Trunks more desirable than Soul Striker, if that makes sense. Activate main, pay 2 blue. If your opponent has 2 or more energy and you place this card in the owner's drop area, choose one Tapion, the hero revive in your hand, and play it with 2 markers in rest mode. So that's pretty awkward because I don't think you can use Tapion's +2 that same turn because he has to tap himself. But we'll see when we get to the unison. Tapion Sword, 1-drop extra card, permanent. If you have a blue unison with specified cost 3 in play, you can activate this card to activate battle from your hand without paying its energy cost. That's nice. Activate battle, limit 1, Spirit Boost 1, so you have to have unison in play basically for this. If your leader card's model blue Trunks Youth card, draw a card, then choose it to one of your leader cards or unison cards, and it gets plus 10,000 power for the battle. So you do kind of get like a pseudo combo that can be used for free as long as you have a unison in play. But yeah, it's limit 1 kind of makes it a bit tough to use. I don't think you can play 4 of it and necessarily feel great about it. So again, 2 things specific to Trunks that don't really make him more desirable than Soul Striker. That's his problem competitively so far. Let's keep going. Alright, so we have the Unison, Tapion, Hero Revive, 3-drop, 19k, auto once per turn if it's your turn. When you remove a marker from this card using Spirit Boost, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost greater than or equal to their energy and return it to the owner's hand. +2, switch this card to rest mode. If you do, draw 1. So yeah, if you do draw 1 means that playing it off the field card in rest mode is not going to allow you to use the +2, which is just super weird. Activate main ±0. Up to one of your mono blue leader cards gets plus 10,000 power for the turn. So there are going to be a lot of discussions on whether or not this is better than the Baby Parasitic Unison. And there's a few different things for each. Like Baby's only 15k, Tapion's 19, so he's a little bit tankier technically against 15k attackers. Baby can attack, Tapion really can't unless you use the ±0, but more often than not, you're probably going to want to draw the cards. And Baby has a better ultimate ability. The -5 gives you a lot of game-ending power. So some pros and cons, yes. It does get a little dicey depending on what you're looking to do. Trunks Calamity Challenger, 4-drop 20k. When this card's played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and return it to the owner's hand. Activate main for a blue. Choose one blue non-unique Santa Earthling card with energy cost of 3 or less in your battle area and place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. play this card from your hand, add up to 1 mono blue card with Tapion and its card name from your deck to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So there are a few cool things you could do with this card, again, in like a Soul Striker build, but obviously also in a Trunks build, where you have just a lot of really easy targets to bounce back, play this guy, and search Tapion. So I guess Tapion's a bit more searchable, at least directly from the deck, than Baby is. But then you have Great Saiyaman, Call of a Hero, which is a card you could bounce back with Calamity Challenger Trunks. Auto when this card's played, like a top 5, add up to 1 blue Sand or Earthling card with an energy cost 3 or less, or 1 blue Unison with a specified cost of 3 among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So that could be a pretty good turn 1 play, getting you into your turn 2 Trunks Calamity Challenger, which should then search out your Tapion Unison. So if you're going to play some sort of engine like this in Soul Striker or in Trunks, Blue Trunks, it's pretty nice to be able to play Tapion and search it out from the deck. But even then, you can go with like 4 Baby Unison and 2 Tapion, because Tapion's going to be searchable in the instances that you need a 3-drop Unison. But if you're going to rather hard draw your Unison and put it into play, Baby is definitely a valid option for that. This little engine, I really do like this a lot. Now, this is another thing that makes you specifically want to play Trunks. So we have like a combo of attackers here. We'll start with the Goten. So 1-drop Calamity Challenger Goten. Auto when this card's played, draw 1. Activate main, limit 1. Pay a blue. Look at top 7 cards of your deck. Play up to 1 mono blue Gohan or Videl with energy cost of 3 and 20,000 power. Then shuffle your deck. If you played a card, place this card at the bottom of the owner's deck. So these next 2 cards we're going to read are the only ones that work with this guy's effect so far. So you're activating a top 7 to look for 8 cards, which is okay. It's not like the best consistency wise, but I guess it's something you could do. So Great Saiyaman, Combo of Justice, 3-drop 20k, activate main, pay a blue. If your leader card's a blue Trunks Youth and you have a blue Unison with specified cost of 3 in play this card from your hand. So odds are you're probably not even playing these guys if you happen to have them in your hand until turn 4, because turn 3 is gonna be spent playing your Unison, and your leader only untaps when draws 1, assuming you don't have to awaken on like turn 2. So it's a little rough, but activate main, Spirit Boost 1 for a blue. If your leader card's a blue Trunks Youth, play up to 1 mono blue Videl with energy cost of 3 and 20,000 power from your deck with its skills negated for the turn, then shuffle your deck. If you played a card, place this card at the bottom of the owner's deck. And then Videl essentially does the same thing, but in the inverse, searches for your Great Saiyaman. So this is a cool little combo of cards, but again, it does kind of make you wait until turn 4, because you have to have a Unison in play that comes down on turn 3, so it's a bit awkward. It's a little weak to some counterplays too. It's weak to Frieza Charismatic Villain. It's weak to Godsling Technique Trunks. It's not the strongest combo, and again, it doesn't make me want to play Trunks over Soul Striker, which most of the generic stuff we'll get into in a second here, or even some of the stuff we just read is also pretty generic, like Trunks Calamity Challenger, very, very generic, and the Tapion Unison as well. So let's move on. Alright, these cards are pretty cool. Son Goku Calamity Challenger, 4-drop 15k to flex blocker, activate main for a blue. If your leader's a blue Saiyan, you have 3 or more energy, play this card from your hand and draw 1. Excellent right off the rip. Getting a 1-drop 15k blocker that can't be counterplayed and then draws or plays itself, that's excellent. Activate main, limit 1, Spirit Boost 1 for 2 blue. If your leader card's a blue Trunks Youth, play 1 mono blue Son Goku with energy cost of 6 from your deck or drop area on top of this card. Negate the card's keyword skills for the game, then shuffle your deck if you look through it. So that last line of text, negating the card's keyword skills, absolutely kills that part of the card for me. Again, that would have been another thing that says, hey, maybe we can play Trunks instead of Soul Striker, because you get to cheat out like Dragon Fist Goku or this Calamity Conqueror Goku. But taking away their keyword skills is really rough. Now, the one thing I don't know is if they can gain keyword skills, which would be relevant for SS3 Goku Calamity Conqueror. So you lose the deflect if you play it off of Calamity Challenger, but let's read the rest of the cards. So auto limit 1 for a blue. If your leader card's blue, when this card attacks, it gets plus 5,000 power for the turn. And if you have a blue Unison with specified cost of 3 in play, switch this card to active mode and it gains double strike for the turn. So you do have a potential double strike dual attacker, but again, I don't know if it can gain double strike through Calamity Challenger Goku's effects. Activate main, Spirit Boost 1 for 4 blue, play this card from your hand. So you do have potential to play it as a 4-drop, and it can do a similar amount of damage as Obuni can, but it does have the requirement of having a Unison in play, so that gets a little dicey. And then Calamity Challenger can cheat out Dragon Fist, which is interesting, but it loses double strike and barrier. The fact that it swings and bounce something ignoring barrier and gets 2 energy back is actually really interesting in my opinion, but again, that's not drawing me to playing Trunks over Soul Striker. You guys are gonna hear me say that a lot over this video. It's just not doing it for me, but let's keep going. So some really cool stuff you can do with a lot of those cards, particularly Goku Calamity Challenge that we just read. It's a forward drop that comes down for 1 and replaces itself, so you can essentially flute it back to your hand. And if you guys are newer players, you might not know what Legendary Flute does. It's actually a Tapion themed card, which is funny. That was a free extra card to let you bounce one of your battle cards back to your hand. I believe that costed 3 or less, and then Flute would replace itself. So Path to Infinite is a similar thing where you pay 1, you bring a battle card back to your hand, and you can then replay that battle card later on. But this, you know, costs 1 and doesn't draw you a card, but it does get you a 20k body, which is pretty big, and that allows you to evolve into Ultra Instinct Saiyan Goku, which can bounce your opponent's board. One of the very few cards in the game that actually ignores barrier, that doesn't say ignore barrier, which is cool. And then of course another card usable with this stuff is Tapion Calamity Challenger, 4-drop 20k double striker. It evolves over Tapion with 2 or less, but you're probably never going to play it that way. It draws a card when it's played. Activate main, limit 1, spirit boost 1, pay a blue. As long as you have a blue unison card with 15,000 power or more in play and you have 3 or more energy, play this card from your hand. We talked about this in the Hurrigarden video. It's no secret how OP this card is. This card is incredible for blue. It is kind of cool how it's bounceable with Path to Infinite, so you get some reusability out of cards like this and Goku Calamity Challenger. So really cool stuff to experiment with. But again, not drawing me to Trunks. This all screams Soul Striker to me, 110%. Last thing I'm going to go over here, we have a little Gotenks fusion package. So the Trunks and the Goten both essentially have the same activate main. Activate main for 2 blues and a colorless. If you have 4 or more energy and you choose this card and 1 blue Goten in your hand, discard them. Choose up to 1 mono blue Gotenks with energy cost of 4 from your deck or hand. Play it, then shuffle your deck if you look through it. So the one in this set is SS3 Gotenks Calamity Challenger, 4-drop 20k, activate main. Choose one of your ghost tokens and remove it from the game. Then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 4 or less and return it to the owner's hand. And the other activate main once per turn, spirit boost 1, blue unison with specified cost of 2 or more. Play 1 ghost token with 15,000 power. Totally honest opinion, this card is just super weak, but there are actually some other Gotenkses you can play off these 2 Gotens and Trunkses. We've got Gotenks Battling the Forces of Evil, Ghost Rampage SS Gotenks, and Raging Energy Blast Gotenks. Their effects are up on the screen for you guys to read here, but honestly, they're all pretty underwhelming. They've never really been meta contending cards. So, and those Goten and Trunks aren't that great either, so it's a little bit of a toss-up. But anyways, guys, those are my thoughts on the blue Trunks cards. Not really going to make me want to play Trunks, but a lot of them are very, very good in Soul Striker. Of course, I want in the comments below what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.